Are we live? Okay, so
Labdien.
Labdien und labvakar.
Wakker.
Right.
Wat is dat?
Okay, we can talk about ourselves, yeah?
Well, I'm Leo. I'm Alessandra, actually, from Italy. Hello.
Okay. I'm Lucy from France.
We are volunteers here at the Ventspils jauniešu. It's been 3 months now. Yes, we're on a 6-month mission, voluntary mission. Yeah.
Until the end of August.
Mm-hmm. And today, yeah, where are we here? Why are we here?
Yeah.
Can I
Why?
talk?
Tell us. Okay.
Okay, so yes, hello girls. We are here in this live session, I would say like that, a questions and answers session, because we would like to get to know what is European Voluntary Service and Corps. What are you doing here, and how the youngsters from Ventspils can also go somewhere to France or to Italy. So we're gonna hear some answers from you, as you are the real you now have the real experience, like what it is, and you for now have the knowledge for 3 months, like what it is.
This
Okay.
is why we are sitting in the big chairs.
Yes, exactly.
We earned
Can
them.
I start with the questions?
Let's go, yeah.
Let's go. So first question: what is European Solidarity Corps, and what does it stand for? The short abbreviation,
yeah.
like ESC.
ESC, it's European Solidarity Corps, of
Mhm.
course.
It's a program of the European Union. It looks like Erasmus Plus, but it's not for studies. It's not for studying. It's another kind of experience.
Yes, it's volunteering.
Yes, it's not a job, it's not studies, but you can still learn many things by giving something to the community.
Yeah, it's based on non-formal education. So just because you're not doing Erasmus in university doesn't mean that you're not learning, because you learn a lot. And yet, I do not remember exactly how long it's been going on, but it is going. It's something that will be still going in the next few years. So
More and more, the budget is higher than before because it has success. It meets success. I don't know how to say. It's very successful. More and more people want to participate, but it's true that it's not very known from everybody.
It's not as popular as maybe other type of abroad experiences, but it should be more popular, I think.
So yes, it's true. The European Solidarity Corps is pretty new thing. It was first made in 2018, like as a new project possibilities. But the volunteering service or volunteering in general, it's already like a old possibility. And it's interesting that in the European Solidarity Corps appears this word solidarity. So what does solidarity means to you? How could you say to somebody what is solidarity?
But to me, I think it has a lot to do with inclusion. So to apply, to act in solidarity means to make sure that everybody has the space to be themselves, to give their contribution, their opinion, but also to be safe, in a safe space to say it and to do it, and make sure that less and less people are excluded from society, from a group.
Yeah, to me it means taking care of other people's needs and getting interested and be interested in what they are, who they are, because it's because we should be closer. We should be closer from. I don't know how to you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Because this ESC program makes us being closer.
Mm-hmm. As humans,
Yes.
as equals.
As citizens.
Mm-hmm.
As a community, like, you know, also a bigger sense, no?
Yes, but for that you need to get to know. We need to get to know each other
Yeah,
and to care about each other.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Okay. As a young person, a volunteer to be, what can you do in these European Solidarity Corps, like projects? What can you do?
Mm-hmm. You can do many things actually. It can be in the education field, can be for the protection of the environment, it can be focused on health, on culture, sports.
Mm-hmm. The
It
promotion of European values in general.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's lots of different applications of.
Yes, it can be with children, with elderly people, teenagers, migrants, but also everyone, because
Could be
we
also
can-
with media, like more in a media field.
yes, maybe, but it has to be very connected to the people.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
What about sports or something like sports projects?
Sports project, it can be to participate to I don't know how to say it in English, and make sports more accessible
Mm-hmm.
for disabled persons, for
Mhm.
example, by organizing events, by promoting equality in sports,
Mm-hmm.
all kind of stuff.
And probably also showing your culture, like 'cause, maybe you have some traditional sports or games from
Mhm.
other country.
Yes, can be that.
Yeah, and who can be a volunteer? Like, is there an age limit? Can anybody apply or?
Yes, and there's an age limit which is pretty wide,
All kind
so
of
you can
stuff.
participate from.
Probably also
18 years
showing
old
your
until
culture,
you're
like
30. So
maybe you
It's
have.
a big gap. You can take time to decide, and
As we did.
as we did, we took our time, and you need to be an EU citizen, like a European citizen, or have to be a legal residence.
Yes,
permit.
legal residence. So you can be American, for example, but if you live in France, let's say, you have the right to participate.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's for everybody
Really?
in this age gap, but everybody.
Do you need to have some specific skills or knowledge to be a volunteer? Some kind of maybe degree or something specific?
Mm.
Since it's for everybody, no.
Mhm.
You don't need any special skills. But I
No.
would say that it's important to know what are your skills, what your skills are, to find a meaningful project for you,
Yes.
Mhm.
and also to organize with the association, the hosting association, what you're going to do and how.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to find simply the best environment for you to learn more about yourself, because if you know that you like certain things and you are interested in learning some specific in a specific field, that can be the way for you to choose the best project for you. And it can just be, all your knowledge can be useful, but it doesn't have to be certified knowledge. You don't have to be don't have to have a 5-star CV to participate. You are fine.
Yes, it's about what you want to learn and
Mhm.
develop, and what you already know, but you don't have to have diploma for that, just motivation.
Yeah.
Mhm. I completely agree with you, because as important is the skills that you have, the more important is the skills that you want to develop, because it's
Mhm.
really a good platform to maybe understand that, oh, I could be a teacher in the future, or maybe teaching is not for me. You know.
Mhm.
Okay. Where can you find the information about ESC?
Well, there's lots of information spread around, like also on social media. There are lots of pages that do information, but the main space, the main source of information is the European portal. I forgot the name exactly.
Yes, there is the European portal, and there is a website dedicated to ESC.
Only for that.
Yes, only for that, where you have the principles, but also the criteria, where you can pick the criteria important for you and read the project descriptions.
Yeah, it's a database of all the available projects that you can browse and insert your criteria. For example, as we said, if you are into sports and you would like to participate into a project that is around sport, you can click on that. Or there's also a map, so you can see what maybe could be the best country for you, if that's your criteria for the choice. And yeah, that's all the information, also all the rules, all the what's included and what's not included, which is what's included is a lot. And where you can create your own profile to then apply, because you can do it from there.
And when you are on this webpage in the European Youth Portal, is it difficult to apply? Like, how difficult is the process to create your profile and find a project, in your opinions?
I would say that it's not difficult to find the process, how to do it, but then you have to reflect on who you are and what you want. But once it's done, once you have filled in your profile, it would be easier for you to apply. I mean, to write a motivation letter, or to have an interview on Skype. So it's not very complicated.
No, not at all. It just takes some time to really reflect on what you want from this experience, what your skills are, so how you want to build your profile. That's 90% of the job, I would say. Then it's very intuitive, and there's lots of information.
Then you just have to read the project description, and it's written if you have to send a motivation letter.
Yes.
And sometimes you don't even have to do that, because you can be contacted directly by organizations.
Yes.
And then you have an interview on the phone or by Skype.
Pay attention to deadlines, because most projects, well, I think all of them, have a deadline to apply, and also the duration. So think about whether you would like to go abroad for just a couple of months or maybe a year, because that makes a difference.
That's the maximum duration, actually, 12 months for one project.
So it's up to you, really. Take one day to think this through and then just go.
Yes, and you can also apply to several projects.
Yes.
And see what happens next. How do you feel about the project once you have had the interview?
Do you think there's a limit of projects you can apply to?
No, there is no limit. And it depends on in the year, there are moments when the organizations are very looking for participants, very actively, and sometimes they are not doing it at all. So you may be disappointed and think that, oh, nobody wants me. It's not true. It's just that the organizations are very busy doing other stuff. So don't give up and apply at another moment in the year, and you will see that at some point you will receive many offers, because organizations are rushing to find participants.
But is it true, as you are registered in this portal, you receive some kind of email notifications of?
Yes.
Yes, you can receive emails with proposal just directed to you. They could say, I saw your profile on the portal. Are you interested in our project? And then they send you all the information about the project, and again the deadline to apply and what you need for the application. What you need to send.
And for the application, I talked about motivation letter and what's the name in English? Motivation letter?
Yeah.
And CV, but it can be more creative than for a job application.
Of course,
Definitely.
You can make a video, you can make a PowerPoint.
And again, it doesn't have to be about how good you are. It doesn't have to be like a serious motivation letter. It has to highlight what you are and why are you interested in that project. Because of course, then it's between you and the organization. You kind of have to like each other. So that's your way to show a little bit about yourself. And then again, you can be very creative about it and show even that side of you.
So as a volunteer, do you receive some kind of money for doing voluntary like job or
for living?
service?
Yes. Otherwise, we couldn't eat. So yes, we receive money for food and pocket money.
The accommodation is included. The travel to the destination of the mission is covered for. So you don't really get paid, but you have a lot of it that is included. So you also have a little bit of money for your own expenses, and so yeah.
We can say maybe how much we get.
It
It
depends
varies
from
on the
each country,
yeah.
actually. Yeah.
But it's between usually it's between 3 euros in countries where the cost life
Yeah, it depends.
is low. It can be 3 euros per day for food and the same amount for pocket money. And in France, for example, where life is expensive, it's 6 euros per day for food. So at the end, in France, with the pocket money and the food money, you have between 300 euros and 400 euros. So of course you're not rich, but it's enough to live and to have some hobbies. And
To treat yourself a little bit.
Yeah, and to travel around when there is no COVID.
We say that it's an approximate amount of money that, like, for example, a student in a university would spend or use for his expenses. So I think students survive.
Yeah.
I was
It's
poor,
enough.
actually.
Okay, is it true that, as you mentioned, you receive some kind of money, but do you have to pay for being a volunteer or applying for some project?
Absolutely not. The registration to the portal is free. Applications are free. The traveler is reimbursed. So you also have a medical insurance that is included. So you really don't need to give any fee for participation. So no, it's again just your extra expenses. So if you're really, really into shopping, maybe you will have to bring your own money.
Or if you come to Latvia during winter and you're not from a cold country, maybe you need to buy some warm clothes. But otherwise, no. It's for everybody.
It's because actually, thanks to European Union and Commission, that we all pay taxes together.
Yeah.
That's why we can also enjoy this experience for free. Which
So,
is
thank you, everybody, for paying taxes.
Good job, everybody.
what would you say, like in one word, what is the best about volunteering? In one word.
In one word, it's never easy. So
Discovering. Surprises.
Oh yeah, surprise, definitely surprise. Also, it's like a challenge, but it can be, in the positive and in the negative side, because now, challenges are a popular thing. So yeah, a challenge. You decide which connotation I'm thinking about. Yeah.
Does it every day feel like going a little bit outside of your comfort zone, or you
Yes.
are always in your comfort?
Yes, and at the same time you get attached to your environment. So at the end you feel at home, but not totally. And then this gets harder when you have to leave. I think it will be hard.
Oh, we still have a lot of time. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Like it will become a little bit of your home because you come here alone, or maybe you meet another volunteer that is doing the project with you. And so, yeah, every connection that you make is stronger than maybe, it's stronger because it happens quicker than maybe in other situations. yeah, you find your favorite bakery, you find your favorite supermarket, your favorite places to go for a beer, I don't know, your favorite spot on the beach. So yeah, it is.
And life is unpredictable. Like you never know what's gonna happen. Like where the roads after the project will take you.
We'll see. We will see. We don't know. I mean,
I think that we know ourselves better since we are here. So it can be useful for the future.
absolutely, yeah. Because it is such a free space, occasion to experiment. You kind of take some liberties also to see if you can do certain things, if they're good for you. Yeah, to really just learn, and then that's the most valuable thing that you can bring home for your professional future. But it's not only about that, then there's also the personal growth that you can do, you can have, and also that of course stays with you. And just adapting to a different country, a different climate also, it's something that I think I will remember for the rest of my life. Yeah.
So, as a volunteer who has started his project, how would you describe like a daily life of a volunteer looks like when he wakes up and when he goes to sleep?
I think it depends from the volunteering places.
I suppose.
Yes, we have a certain freedom in our schedule, but we come every day to the youth house.
Yeah, it is a full-time engagement. It's for the whole week. It's about 30. Yeah, it's also on the requirements between 30 and 38 hours per week. So of course, you need to be willing to do this every day. But
Yes. Sometimes it can be more, and sometimes it can be less, because it's very often it's in organizations, non-profit organizations. So you have to adapt to the situations. But what we do is that we meet in the youth house, we exchange ideas, we brainstorm, we work in autonomy on communication of our events and activities, the content of our activities. Then what do?
We do language classes.
Yes. And the activities.
And the activities themselves.
What did we do so far?
Well, culture nights for French and in Italian.
A clean walk.
Clean walk. Your land art event.
So it was outside.
Photography walks.
A TV show. Game.
We came up with a culture game, live game show.
Yeah, about Latvia.
So yeah, to test us about Latvia. And that was a great way actually to involve the local community of young people here, because they accepted this invitation from us to make a quiz for us, and they turned it into a TV show. And I think it was, for now, the best event that we've had, because it really brought us all together for something.
For 1 week of preparation.
Craziness.
Preparation. For the set, the decorations, the music, the outfits, the makeup, the training.
Yes.
Everything.
I still have Latvian songs in my head now, and I don't think they will ever go away.
And you have the crown. She won.
How did you came up with the idea to become a volunteer?
Well, I did another experience abroad in the past, and I knew that I wanted to do another one, but because I didn't really have funds, I started looking for ways where I could do it. And so that was the main reason. Then the more you see, the more I looked into it, the more it looked something at first I actually was confused, because for me the role of a volunteer I always imagined it was going to be, in very difficult situations, or maybe like linked to very spiritual situations and organizations. So at first for me it took some time to understand that this was something completely different. And then the occasion came, and I said, it's now or never. Also because I'm on the closer to the to the age where I cannot do this anymore. So I decided, let's do it.
I already knew about the program before because I've been a French volunteer in the French program with other European volunteers, so I wanted to do like them. And yes, I wanted also to know what it felt like to be abroad in an unknown country as a foreigner, how people look at you, how you feel. And I wanted to see new landscapes, basically.
So back at home, what do your friends and family think that you do every day? Is it just relaxing, going to the beach, or what do they think that you do as a volunteer?
For me to explain, actually, before I came here, just to explain to them that I was not going to be like a humanitarian volunteer was a big part of trying to say, yeah, but what are you going to do? And I was like, because we don't really have the concept of youth houses in Italy. They're not that common. So when I left, they had no idea what I was going to do. Now when I tell them what I do, like I do game shows, I do, I go on TV, I do language classes, I think they're still confused, but but it's fun to give them this point of view of my life in this moment. Yeah, very diversified experience. Yeah, they know I don't get bored. I don't have time for that.
They know.
They know.
Yes.
No questions.
Some of them thought that it was an orphanage.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no.
That I was going to be a teacher also, so it's going to be like after-school tutor. No.
Yes, it's not so formal that they could think.
Mm-hmm.
Do your friends and family know where you are? Do they know Latvia? Can they point it in the map?
Now they do.
Now they do.
Before?
Now they don't.
They couldn't do it. No.
I think they still don't really exactly know.
Really?
Okay, I don't hate them for that. Yeah, and also, so where are you going? Is it where Santa Claus lives? Yeah, they asked questions. We were all really confused before I came, but that was actually part of the experience for me. It was not really knowing.
So it's exotic for you.
Yes.
I'm glad that now I have so much knowledge that I can bring back, because I'm sure that my friends will get some answers to all the questions that they asked.
From your photos and videos and stories.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you choose Latvia as a place where to live for some time?
I chose the project first, but then I saw that Latvia was a country where the nature was very present, important, and I wanted that.
Same. I chose the project before anything else, and I don't know, when I read that it was going to be a city on the Baltic Sea, I don't know, my mind just started dreaming about it and what it was going to look like, and then the midnight sun and all of that, and I said, okay.
Is it true as you dreamed?
It's very cool that the sun doesn't go down, but it's also very challenging for me to sleep.
Since
But,
you don't have on the windows.
Yeah. And also because I didn't know anything of that. I mean, I could have gone to, that was what I wanted, like to challenge myself to go somewhere. I didn't know the language. I also did not know a lot of other things, and that's what I was looking for. I could have chosen another country, maybe somewhere where I already knew the language, but then it would have been, yes, a beautiful experience, like a positive experience, but I would have missed that kind of that part of exploration that I've lived here, that I'm still living here.
The same.
And so speaking about languages, I know that you learn also Latvian language. What can you say in Latvian so far? At least your favorite sentence.
Please, lūdzu.
It's always the same. Es gribu sieru. Sieru?
Yeah.
It's all very food related, yes, but there's also es esmu Alessandra, es esmu brīvprātīga, es gribu ēst is what I like to say.
Ko tu gribi?
Ko tu dari?
Ko tu dari? Kur bumba?
Kur ir bumba? Kur ir bumba?
That's useful sentence.
Kaki. It's for bumba.
Yeah.
Kaki.
Yeah, more or less. E uzmanību. Can be useful. Piedod, paga. So very short, but I think, yeah.
Is it important for you to learn Latvian? And why volunteer should learn the language in which country he is or she is?
For many reasons.
Super, super important in my opinion, yeah.
Yes, to not feel lost, completely lost, to connect more with people.
Yes. And also, yeah, just to embrace more where you are. I mean, any experience is also linked to the language. At first you will feel like, I will never do this, this is so complicated. It still is, but at least now I know where to look for things, where all these weird symbols on the letters mean. They're not weird anymore, they make sense, and it's unbelievable. Whenever we learn a few new words, I'm like, can you believe that now I know what this is? Even though maybe I don't know how to pronounce it perfectly, or I cannot really have an entire conversation. It's very good.
And it's fascinating.
Super, yeah.
Yes. Yes, as a language that we really didn't know before coming here.
Yeah.
Because we are asked, is it like Russian? Is it like English? Is it like, no, it's like Latvian. And our languages sound like Latvian. But there is no, sometimes English and French sound like Latvian, but it's not more English or more French. It's really, I think we have a common ancestor.
Yeah, yeah.
And Latvian is very close to this common ancestor.
Someone studied here.
Yes.
Someone studied. Yes, it's very, very fascinating. Yeah.
And speaking about people, how would you describe a typical Latvian now, as you have kind of get to know the people?
Super, super tall for an Italian girl. Well, yeah, super, super tall. That's the main thing you notice.
Not chilly. They don't need any scarf on their knees.
No, actually I think that's not really true. I was very glad when I would meet people and said I'm cold, and they were like, oh, I'm cold too. I was like,
Sometimes it happens.
yes.
But
Yeah, we have to.
Latvians are not humans.
We do have different concept of summer, of
Yeah.
of course. So, but it's true, yeah. And also, not really on formalities. He likes to go to cut the chase and just go on what we need to talk about.
To say what is important and to not say what is unnecessary.
For example.
To
say hi.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Oh, good job.
Yeah. So it's funny to see that. Well, at first it kind of hurts because you feel like maybe it's against you then.
Yes.
But then you understand that no.
Yes. And you don't have this pressure on your shoulder to please people, because you know that you won't get huge feedbacks. So You are not looking for that anymore.
No.
You should go to France and you will understand why I'm saying
Yeah,
that.
I guess, yeah. All the bonjour and
Yes,
all
in
the
France
salutations.
you have to be very kind to everybody all the time.
But isn't it like more fake or like a theater?
Yes, but for us it's not fake because we are so used to it. It's one of the priorities in the communication for us. It's not really what we are saying, but it's more the way we are saying it. So for us it's natural. But I can understand how it looks like for other people.
And then I think we're kind of closer. I don't know how, but
What do you mean?
with the Latvian attitude.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, we like to say our buongiorno and buonasera, but not more than necessary. Like
Not starting to speak about your family with a stranger or something like that. It's just not what you do.
But when we do, and I think also that is very similar to Latvian, because when we do, then we can exchange our whole life story. Like we can go from 0 to 100, but for only for selected individuals.
So before you said yes to this project and this opportunity, did you had some other options like plan B to go to another project or country?
No, not really. I of course applied to many projects, like a few projects that I found interesting, but no, I just waited for a response and then continued. I didn't want to be then in the position of having to decide between two options.
I've been in this position.
Tell us more.
But it was nice. It was nice because I had this feeling that not many opportunities, but so it was in Greece with asylum seekers, a very different mission,
And also a different environment.
Yes. In the coldest city of Greece. This is why I didn't go. Coldest and with more rain.
Okay. I wonder.
But yes, and some others didn't answer at all. It happens.
Yeah, it can happen.
And some of the organizations replied very late. So I was very, as you know, I was very into this project here. So I said, okay, you feel it, you do it.
Yeah, because in some parts, sometimes it feels like the organizations are fighting for the volunteers. It has like such a battle, like what to choose and what to do. So it's difficult also for the organizations a lot of times, because you see a good volunteer, a young person, and you're like, okay, you can maybe imagine the future like of him working. So, but you have to decide in the end. Speaking about future, will you apply for some short-term projects or group projects? Because it will be a possibility probably to do so.
I wouldn't mind, like for shorter ones. I wouldn't like to abandon this volunteering in total. I would still like, but I would also like to be more involved in volunteering in my own country, like also outside of the European, framework. But definitely, I don't know if I'm still allowed, because I don't know. We will see. But I want to leave that door open.
Okay.
To the future.
Let's see.
I want to leave the door open for other young people, maybe, because I think that maybe I could work in this field. So I have to find a job. So I don't know if I will have the time anymore to go volunteering. That's a sad answer. Sorry.
Yeah, as you said, you can always work with the volunteers or even maybe write projects yourself.
Yes,
and
to stay in this environment of European mixing, I don't know how to say in English, to stay in this international spirit.
Environment. Yeah. So as a volunteer, And as a colleague here, what have you learned so far? Like, what some kind of new skills or maybe possibilities that opened up for you here?
Social media.
Yeah.
How to not be a boomer, that's the word. How to not appear like a boomer on Instagram. I'm not done yet.
We discovered Reels recently.
Yes, Reels.
Yeah, definitely social media. How long it takes to take care of social media. It's a really like a hard and complex thing that you can only see for 10 seconds, but then there's lots of work behind it. So you really
put it in a schedule.
you appreciate. I mean, I have much more empathy now for social media managers around the world. If you're listening, like, wow, it's a lot of work. Yeah, I never had so many language classes in my life. So having my own students, I feel even it's a big word for me. But yeah, to plan my own classes and actually do them, yeah, it's something or just the concept of holding a training. It's very cool that I learned that.
And also about teamwork. I think that every time you work in teams, you learn new ways of interacting.
Yeah, the intercultural communication, which is what we breathe every single day, because we are from different countries. We are in a different country, so none of us is in their comfort zone. So, and the way we express is different from the way it's used here. So every day is a new opportunity to learn about that.
Yes.
Okay, almost the last question. If you could describe your volunteering experience in one word again, what it will be?
What was the
So
question
far.
before?
Sorry?
The questions before was volunteering in general.
Yeah, but now your personal experience as a volunteer.
I think I can
So
confirm what I already said. Yeah, challenging, but can be in like very different ways. Positive, also like the negative aspects of a challenge. It can be a physical, because we live at the 5th floor, so it's a physical experience every day.
How to overcome.
Yeah, you can.
And discovering, for me, discovery. The same.
You confirm?
Yes, I confirm.
You confirm. Yes.
So the final question, what could be your advice for others, like future volunteers who would like to join in this possibility?
Do it.
Short.
Just do it if you have an interest, of course, because you have to feel the little spark in you that you said that you want to be away from home. You want to accept the challenge of being alone at first in a different country, and to not be in a very set situation also. Like freedom can also be intimidating for some people. So, or maybe that's what sparks the interest in you. So,
Yeah, I would say do it for yourself.
yes.
Don't do it for your parents.
Yes.
And think that it's important to reflect once again on what you're living, because what can be you will feel some surprising feelings, and if you don't try to understand what you're experiencing, what you're feeling, you could miss some positive aspects, because it runs very fast.
Oh yes.
We are already after the half of our mission,
Mm-hmm.
and then it can be too late when you can realize things too late.
Yeah.
So try to reflect, and if you cannot do it by yourself, do it with your family on the phone, or your coordinators.
Yeah, and I would say also do it, of course, but then choose really not to try to impress, to have it on your, on your CV. That's not really the way you should, I think, look for a mission, but really what you think can be the most interesting thing for you, or even where you can see yourself living. Because if you really know that a place where there is no sun makes you cry, just maybe don't.
Or if you don't want to be in a big city.
Yes.
Or if you don't want to be isolated in the countryside.
Make your own choices, because you really are free. There's possibilities everywhere. And
it's only once in your life, the individually long-term volunteering ESC.
Just don't be afraid. Jump in it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing and for this informative session, and hope we will have future volunteers ready for their mission and experience. And
No, yeah.
Thank you.
Paldies to you.